Welcome to Mine EX-Plorers episode 37. You may notice that we look better today, and while I have lost weight and Crystal's been staying in shape all along, we got new cameras. Now that we've shot 37 episodes and we're on 9 months of consistent filming, I thought, you know what, we've stuck to this enough that it's time to invest
Time to upgrade.
in some serious equipment. So we traded in our $100 cameras for much nicer cameras that should be a lot better. We're shooting all Sonys now.
Yeah, they look great. I mean, I'm
3
excited
Sonys, consistency,
to travel with them.
all the angles. Got a new camera there, new camera there, and a new camera there. So I hope they look good. They're really compact and easy to travel with, so we can definitely shoot on the road and bring the same quality.
Yeah, that means now that we have these really nice cameras, I think some site visits are in order.
Site visits, more guests, more shooting on site. I think that's key, and it's something that we'll really looking to do. So, reflections on 9 months of Mine EX-Plorers. I'll let you go first.
Reflections on 9 months of My Explorers. You know, it's been fun. It's been a little bit, well, it's been as hard as I thought it would be because, you know, I'm not a huge fan of talking. I like to live in the background. That's kind of where I've been most of my life. And so getting into more of the limelight per se has been a bit of a, you know, an uncomfortable stretch for me, which is good, right? Because as the, you know, CEO and trying to be more of the face of the company, it's a good spot for me to be and to grow into. So yeah, it's helped me a lot, especially being on panels, being more comfortable just speaking. So
You get used to it. I mean, some people are really just born in front of the camera, and I think a lot of kids these days will be.
Right.
A lot of our younger watchers are probably just grew up shooting videos themselves
Right.
and being very comfortable. But
Some people just love
I
hearing
know
themselves talk.
our generation and before aren't really used to that. But as you noted, like the panels and public speaking and stuff, same skill sets.
Yeah.
If you're comfortable sitting down and doing an interview in front of a camera every single week, it's
Yeah.
going to make public speaking way easier. And it doesn't matter if you're speaking in front of your team, a small group of 5 people or clients, or in front of 1,000 people. It's really the same.
Right. Well, I just remember like the first panel I was on was in March and I was super nervous, like terrified, right? And I was just like, ugh, and I, like just being up there, like I was sweating. And then this last time, just last month, I like there was no fear around it.
Yeah, it was
and
and
nice.
there was actually way more people in the audience.
And there was way more people in the audience and they were doing a live recording and it was easy.
It looks good, yeah.
And it was a topic that I'm very familiar with and enjoy talking about, which was leadership and well, the recruitment side I wasn't like too keen on because, you know, but it was fun.
Yeah, so Amanda actually watched that panel, both of our panels, which she never does, and she said they were really good. So.
Good. Yeah, Amanda,
Yeah, she
or
watched
not
the
Amanda, but
recordings.
yeah, Andrea watched it as well. And,
Yeah.
So
Yeah, I think they were really good. So my reflections on 9 months, it's been interesting finding our kind of niche and flow. Like initially, like I was making music videos and stuff to show and things like that, which maybe I'll bring back here and there.
yeah, that's fun. I mean, I made a postcard out of him. So
I think I had a lot more time then, and now I've gotten busier with other things.
But I mean, the fun thing about like doing the podcast is it's like it's another creative outlet because you and I are very much on the creative side
Right.
and so it's like you're running a business and you're like, you know, very strategic and you got to do all these things, but then it's really nice to have more of like a creative thing to do. So like when you make the music videos, I ended up turning that into a postcard that sings,
Right.
which is a very unique swag item. I don't think I'll do it again, but it was
Yeah.
fun.
Yeah, the technology's not quite there.
No, and they keep going off like at random times. So,
Yeah.
but it was
yeah.
fun. It was like a fun, unique thing to do. So
Yeah.
I don't know. Keep doing
Yeah,
the
so we've done
creative
that.
stuff.
Really enjoyed having the guests on.
Yeah, the guests are great.
I think our audience, generally, our episodes tend to do better that have guests and bring in unique perspectives.
Yeah.
But as we found, and this kind of, I'm going to skip ahead a topic and then we'll come back to ideas moving forward. But our conversation with Brady last week, I found that in his interview and his stories, it brought out some of our stories that
Yeah.
we really haven't told or maybe haven't told well. And so it kind of brought out the idea of like, it would be interesting to have more of those dialogues with people maybe we have on a little more regularly where we open up too, and it's kind of a two-way interview, struggles and things like that. Because you and I, sometimes we try to interview each other and ask questions, but because a lot of our experiences and trauma are shared in building a business and going through it, it's hard to really spur the kind of conversations that lead to stories that are compelling and interesting. But having a guest on like Brady, it's really good. And for all of you who haven't seen last week's episode with Brady McLean from Go Fast Don't Die and The Only Co., that was one of our best episodes to date.
Yeah, it was great.
Brady told some really great stories. He told a story about having a country song type of experience. His dog died. His best friends fell apart. His
Wife
business.
left him.
His wife left him. A divorce, nasty divorce situation, and how he just took off and put 40,000 miles on his motorcycle and ended up having a scary moment early on in the trip where he lost his wallet with all of the money he had to his name in it, and how he found it and had some reflections at a biker bar brought on by a biker, which was pretty interesting. So if you haven't seen that, definitely go back and watch that. But it kind of, brought some interesting thoughts about some of the stories we could tell. And we'll definitely have Brady back on because I think that's really interesting. And the analogy he had about campfires was cool.
Right, campfire conversations. So when you bring out the good stuff. Yeah, and I've been reading a lot, I'm in the Dave Ramsey's leadership book, and he talks about how you need to always be constantly telling the story of how you started your business to your team so they remember and they know like the humble roots that you started from. So you don't lose that edge, that complacency. You're like always striving to be better because like you started with nothing.
Yeah.
And we see that too. Like, when things are going really well, it's easy to forget like, oh, it's always been this easy. And it's like, no, you got to remember like you worked really hard to get here and you need to keep working hard so you stay there and you always stay progressing. So telling more stories is wildly important. It's definitely something we can improve on.
Yeah, for sure. And I think, team reminders is good. And that's, as we produce these episodes and I go through old hard drives and stuff and pull up photos and videos of hard work we've done, I think it'd be good to share more of that with the team so they see.
No, we should.
This is our first staking project and this is our first drilling project and here's where the ATV broke down in the middle of the desert and the axle
I don't think I have
failed.
pictures of that, but we can definitely tell the story.
I do have pictures. It's
Do
just
you?
a little hard to find. Yeah, I've got pictures of a lot of that stuff. So, reflecting a little bit on the show, I think moving forward, what ideas do you have? Obviously, new cameras is a great start. But what ideas do you have for moving the show forward and making those, like, we love incremental improvements.
Yeah.
And it's part of our core values, really. It's not a specific one, but growth is one of our values.
But it's
and
part
it
of
tucks
growth.
into growth.
Yeah.
So we love incremental improvements. So with the show, incremental improvements.
Which is also a part of the meals that we do.
Right. It's ingrained in our business culture. So the incremental improvements, what do you see as improvements in the show that we can do as we go along? And what we're kind of looking forward to, and what our viewers who have stuck with us and watched episodes and commented and liked our stuff, what they can look forward to in the show moving forward.
Yeah, I mean, I think really honing in on who our audience is will help a lot because it's always helpful to know who you're talking to. When it's a broad audience, it's hard to know like what they think would be interesting. And then like when you do a podcast, you are the niche, right? You are the interesting thing. So like we were just talking about, talking more of our stories, our history, I think would be really more of a compelling segments to our show.
Yeah, and along those lines, I mean, honestly, getting you out of your shell and more comfortable being on camera and talking has been really helpful.
Yeah,
Because
yeah,
I've
definitely.
definitely felt a weight to kind of carry the conversations a lot of the time. Because I'll ask a question, kind of clam up and freeze instead of just being comfortable and going with it, stories and
Well,
stuff.
yeah, us working on our flow definitely is an improvement. Yeah,
Yeah, and then for me, just learning when to shut up.
that would help.
Yeah, let you talk. And I'm good. I'm good at that with guests, but with you, I feel kind of an obligation to carry it because you've always been the quieter one.
Yeah,
So
well,
I
I'm
just
a
fall into that default role. So I need to
yeah.
get in the habit of when we sit in our chairs and we're shooting a show to just shut up more.
Be okay with the dead space. It'll be all right. Yeah, no, I mean, I think there's lots of things we can improve on, but it'll be a fun journey. That's the point of it, right? Consistent progress.
Yeah.
Always being like, I mean, consistency is the biggest thing. The more we do it, the better we'll get at it. Tell
So
that to my team too.
that all sounds good, but any specific things?
Any specific things? Uh, Probably just coming to the table with more stories to tell and like having a theme. I think that would help.
I think bringing
And
in more guest experts from different
for sure,
perspectives.
and having guest experts is always great.
I
Be
mean,
awesome.
maybe every other week to at least every third week, have a guest.
Yeah, and if we could do like once a month, do it on site somewhere, that would be awesome.
Yeah, and we've tried that a couple times, and
Getting client
it's been
permission
pretty
is
good.
the biggest challenge, but
We have a lot of projects that are our own projects now.
we might just have to do our own site visits.
We can go underground. We can
Yeah.
shoot on the surface. We can sample.
Yeah, I mean, it would be fun to do like an episode just on like how does mineral exploration work in real life, right? Like even like showing like this is what the office work looks like, and go to the office and show our team working, and then we can go out in the field and stake some mining claims. We're like, this is what it looks like when you actually say we're staking mining claims,
Yep.
and like kind of show that real life process. I think that would
Here's
be a lot
how we
of
lay
fun.
things out. Well, here's the desktop research that goes in first to generate targets.
Okay, we don't have all day.
And then a little bit about it.
No, I'm
I think
kidding.
it's important. And then here we're laying out the claims. We've got in the field. We
Yeah.
stake the claims. Here's early stage sampling. Here's what permitting looks like to do bigger sampling. Here's all that stuff.
Yeah, I think that would be fun. Because then because when we say when mineral exploration, 99% of people have no idea what that means.
Right.
Even people in the industry don't know what that means because they're on the other side of exploration.
They're in operation.
Yeah, they're in operation. So I think that would be super fun.
Okay. More in the field, more guests, and then incremental improvements, quality, cadence, things like that. New cameras help. Always getting a little bit better at editing,
Yep. Yep.
which I do with Premiere, which is awesome. So let's move into the final segment of this episode because we're keeping it short and sweet this week because we had a nice long one with Brady.
We did. That
And
was
we got
fun.
some fun stuff coming up. We actually do have a guest on deck that I will not announce yet, who's going to be really exciting and share a very interesting perspective.
Yeah, that will be fun.
Yes, fresh from Manhattan and the big world of finance.
Ooh-wee.
Gold is $4,000 an ounce. Over.
Really?
You didn't see that yesterday?
Ah,
Gold crossed 4,000 yesterday.
that's insane.
Yeah, so when I wrote this outline, it was at 39.50, and by the time it literally came off the printer, it crossed 4,000. So I wrote at the bottom, $4,000 an ounce,
Holy cow. That is wild.
which is 50% year over year. Gold is 50% higher, which means all the gold miners in production should have margins that are significantly better
right.
because their input costs have maybe risen 10% over the last year with inflation. But like oil globally has not really gone up that much. And so labor is going to be a lot of it and then parts and supplies. But gold price up 50% year over year.
And what is silver at?
Silver's over $48 an ounce.
Okay.
All-time highs were set in 2011. So we're at an all-time for the last 14 years. And we'll probably break those 2011 highs. And then copper is above $5 a pound, near record territory.
Wow.
So these polymetallic deposits, where they're mining copper, gold, and silver, are all doing really well.
Doing really well.
Yep.
Ramp up production, take it while it's hot.
And the miners, while they're doing well and they're doing better, have still not really seen that full increase. I think a lot of mining stocks in general could see, multi bags from here, like 200-300%.
Do you envision this trending into next year?
Yes. So it's a bull market. We're still in the early phases. There's going to be some pullbacks. It's not going to be a linear climb. A lot of this is driven on just debasement of the dollar.
Right.
And so the dollar is struggling. A lot of the current push to get gold over is economic uncertainty everywhere.
Oh, yeah.
Bond issues in Japan. The United States, we have an ongoing government shutdown. We're more than a week into that now. Geopolitical tensions. We still have a war in Ukraine. The Middle East, Gaza is still not settled. There's still issues there. Hamas still has hostages. There's still bombs flying and missiles. And that, as much as Trump would like to solve that quickly, there's not an end in sight there that I see. On the copper side, copper is driven a lot more by just fundamentals, just supply and demand fundamentals. So
we need copper in everything.
Freeport, McMoran's, Grasberg mine in Indonesia has had a major disruption, and they declared a force majeure last month. And that's big. That's big. I mean, we're talking like, I don't have the number in front of me, but that's like 5% of global copper production.
Interesting, because
from one mine.
They just acquired a company like a couple days ago.
Right, but I mean, this is one of their major assets. They're not gonna be able to replace that. So that's big. That's driving a lot of it. But then on the demand side, it's something we've talked about all the time. The global push for electrification, renewable energy, and the data center boom.
Yeah.
So data centers globally right now is a $500 billion market.
Holy cow. That's insane.
Yep. And that's the
globally.
tip of the iceberg.
Yeah. I mean, they're building data centers everywhere.
Yeah. That's the tip of the iceberg.
Yeah.
So it's going to be much, much bigger. There's going to be much more.
Have they...
I mean, I think that 500 billion is like the growth and what's being constructed, not the total.
Right. Because the amount of materials needed for all of that.
It's huge.
I mean,
everything from cement to aggregates for the base and the foundations through to,
I mean, can commodities even support that at the current?
Totally. Not at current production levels.
Not at current production. I mean, there's going to be a need for everything.
Yep. Not at current production levels, especially not with everything that's going on now. So there's going to need to be a huge increase in output to meet that. And there's mines working on that.
I wonder if the tech bros are going to start changing
resolution, everything else. Yeah, they're working on it already.
Yeah, they're going to have to.
They're starting with power.
Power
is the huge bottleneck.
And we've talked about that.
They're shifting public sentiment very meticulously, very intentionally. They're shifting public sentiment back towards nuclear.
That's crazy.
And they're doing that in a big way. I mean, you can follow the money and see exactly how they're doing it.
Oh, yeah.
So they're shifting public sentiment back towards pro-nuclear. They're investing in technology for nuclear. We're obviously working on shifting policy to make it easier to start like SMRs and things like that, small modular reactors.
Right.
But then the next big issue is supplies.
Materials. Just raw materials.
Raw materials.
Yeah.
And then the last note I have today for news is there's lots of critical minerals initiatives.
Indeed.
Which we talk about a lot. Washington's investing directly into domestic critical mineral projects. I personally, as a libertarian, I don't like that. As a person in the mining industry that owns a major mining services company and consulting firm, I like that.
A little conflicted
so two
there.
hats. I think there's better ways to. I think stockpiling, having strategic stockpiles of critical minerals, is a better way to support the mining economy than just taking direct stakes in companies.
Well, anytime the government gets involved in things, it's not the greatest.
Yes. So I think there's better ways to do it. I mean, it would be called resource nationalization
Yeah.
anywhere else, but if we do it here, it's different. So, but the stakes they're taking now they're not taking like 80% stakes in companies. They're taking smaller. So
Right.
the government recently took a 5% equity stake in Lithium
That is
Americas,
interesting.
the company building out the Thacker Pass deposit.
Yeah.
And my hot take is if the government hadn't have gotten in the way so much during the last administration, they wouldn't need the damn money. They'd have production now.
Right.
And they'd be just making money. So the government got in the way, and now they're trying to push it forward.
And now they're investing in it.
Yeah, and but essentially that 5% equity stake is they had a previous $50 million federal grant, and they're converting that grant into equity. So it's not new money; it's previous money. They're just changing how it flows, which will convert into a roughly 8% total equity stake. So still pretty big.
So did they get all of their permits approved? Are they ready to go into production, or are they still fighting with the...
I think they're still fighting. I think they're closer and things are moving along, but I haven't really heard anything.
I feel like all
it
of
for a
these
while.
mines are just like walking uphill in sand, right? Like
Yep.
they make one step forward and then they slide back, and then one step forward and slide back, and they're slowly getting there.
Yep. No, absolutely. And yeah, I can go on and on about that, but I won't drag that into this episode. There's stuff going on the rare earths front. So
There's a few things going on.
Turkey and the U.S. are in talks about developing a big rare earths deposit in Turkey. Turkey had been negotiating with Russia and China on this same deposit. And then the U.S. came to the table and said, hey, work with us instead. We'll see how that goes. Turkey is pretty smart, and they are... they know how to play both sides of everything. And so they get hot and cold on the U.S.
right.
quite a bit. And so it'll be interesting to see how they go with this rare earths deposit. But, I mean, obviously I like to see domestic stuff, which is why I'm really excited to speak in
Pittsburgh.
2 weeks in Pittsburgh at America's Coal Revolution Conference,
Yes.
where I'm speaking about coal and my journey from being a skeptic of recovering rare earths from coal to being less of a skeptic.
I think that would be a really interesting
Yeah,
talk.
and so I actually bring in 3 different case studies. We look at the technology, we look at the companies, and we look at
Cool.
what they're solving and how they're going to be able to impact the rare earth supply chain. But ultimately, and spoiler alert for anybody who's watching this is going to be there, ultimately the big thing that's shifting my opinion on it is there's a realization now and a focus on we need to not just bring the production back, we need to have the entire supply chain.
Yes,
So
from
we need to have
start
the
to
smelting
end. Yep.
and refining capacity.
The downstream processing is just as important as mining it. Absolutely.
Yeah, or more so. And that's the part we've never had.
Right.
So
That's going to be the biggest hurdle for
now
sure.
that they're solving that problem and they're working towards that problem, all of these smaller projects like recovering rare earths from coal, from fly ash, from acid mine drainage, from different things, and actually recovering the valuable materials out of it, if you have the downstream ability to extract the value, then those projects all start to look a lot more feasible.
Yeah,
So
definitely.
that's going to kind of be my core message.
That's
So
interesting.
you
That
guys
could be
get a
good
preview.
change.
Yeah, and all these moves really highlight how the U.S. is shoring up the supply chain and critical minerals, both by investing in domestic mines and partnering abroad. And I would love to see more focus on the smelting and refining. I think that's really key.
Yeah.
It's really important.
Agreed.
And that
Agreed.
is all I have for news.
And going back to what we were talking about earlier of how we can improve the show, I think you talking about the keynotes and the presentations you're giving on our show would be wildly interesting. And I think that would really open up the audience a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, I could always give either a 5-minute version or for this presentation I'm giving at America's Coal Revolution, it's a 30-minute presentation.
Wow.
So I could do the whole presentation for an episode.
Let's give it a go. See what the audience thinks.
Yeah, I mean, I think it'd be pretty interesting, and I think the quality would be there, and I think you'd all learn something from it. It's not. I'm in the mining industry, and I mean, we both are, and we're very embedded in it, and we see a lot of what's going on. I mean, we read the news every day, and we hear the internal rumblings, and a lot of our clients are on the front lines of this stuff. And so we see the deals and know about a lot of things before they happen. And a lot of these developments in rare earths, in coal and coal's waste products and byproducts, a lot of the developments there I didn't even know about till I sat down and really started researching this, because they've largely just been quiet.
Yeah.
So there was, of course, the former investment banker buys Wyoming mine for $2 million that has $37 billion in rare earths, and everybody gets all hyped up about it.
Yeah, and we
and
see
then
that.
It goes away.
We see that, and that's like an immediate red flag.
Yeah, like a billionaire friend of mine asked about that and sent it to me that day. Like, how do I buy old mines? And then on the same day, my mom sent it to me and goes, hey, tell me more about this. And then, like, everybody in between wants to know what's going on.
I do think it's hilarious your mom sent you the article.
Yeah, and so I'm like, well, it's hype. Like, 37 billion is, like, if you total up all the potential things and sell them at their full market price and exclude all the processing and everything. Because in reality, and we're talking about the Brook mine in Wyoming, and the reality is it wasn't just some investment banker. He's the CEO of Ramaco Resources and invested a significant amount of his own personal money into it. Mm-hmm. They're a coal mining company. They understand coal. They understand resources. They understand permitting. They understand exploration. And none of that was really covered in all these early on articles. They're just like, random guy buys mine.
Clickbait.
It's worth a whole bunch.
It's just clickbait at that point.
Yeah, it was really written poorly. But then when you actually dig into the story, there was a lot of hype at the beginning, which I'm sure helped them push things through. The state of Wyoming invested several $1 million into a pilot plant. The Department of Energy took a big interest in it. Like, there's multiple good things that came out of that. But on the flip side, a lot of people in industry just wrote it off.
Right.
On the headline alone.
Right.
Then I did. And I was like, yeah, ignore it. And then what I actually found out is, like, their EBITDA is like $100 million a year, and they've got grants, and they're building a pilot plant, and their coal, the actual in-ground coal, has significantly higher concentrations of rare earths than typical coal. And so it's called an ash basis, because when you cook coal and you burn coal, you create fly ash, and then the ash really concentrates the rare earth. Mm-hmm. So the fly ash and the bottom ash, the rare earths get concentrated because they don't burn off, they stay. It's a good way to concentrate rare earths, is to actually take the coal and burn it, which creates energy. But on an ash basis, some seams of that mine contain 5,000 parts per million of rare earths. And a conventional rare earths mine like Mountain Pass is like 500-600. Mm-hmm. So it's 10 times the concentration once you've burned it off. And then typical coal contains around 37 parts per million.
Wow.
So really much higher concentrations of coal, of rare earths in the coal. And then, of course, there's all the byproducts and the underclay and different things that tend to pick up rare earths. So really interesting journey there. But yeah, let's consider presenting that as an episode.
Let's do it.
Yeah.
Cool.
Maybe in a week or two.
Sounds good. All right. And with that.
Yeah, maybe I'll actually pair it with I will go to the America's Coal Revolution. I'm always thinking about resolution. Big copper mine. I'll go to the show and then maybe record my presentation as part of it and have like 5 minutes at the show, maybe talk to a few people in short interviews and then give the presentation and film it. And,
That'd be great.
yeah.
That would be
Shoot
great.
it for the cameras, do a special take for you guys. So,
Cool.
all right.
All right.
It's an
Thank you.
episode. Crystal is hopping on a plane and going to Austria.
I'm out of here.
So we're going to call this one a wrap, and I will edit it and get it up to you guys so you can watch it soon. Please tune in.
Like and subscribe.
Like and subscribe, and please leave your comments about what you would like to see. Because we talk about what we want to improve and make better, but ultimately we want to deliver value. We want to give value to the viewers, and we would love to know how we can do that better. So leave your comments, send us an email, whatever you want to do. We're easy to track down, and we'll see you next time.